Hey there, I'm Vince Sims. Thanks for joining us for this Community Conversations. We're going to be talking about unique art. We're going to be talking about comedy and a festival that's coming up. And we've got Marena Riyad, who is the founder of all of this. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you here. So let's first of all talk about you, Marena. Tell us a little bit more about you.
My favorite topic.
Yes.
I'm Palestinian. I was born overseas. I spent the majority of my life in two third world countries, Palestine and Texas. So that I feel like that's a good summary of who I am. I am the eldest of 6 kids. I come from a big family. I have a university degree of business and art. I kind of made my own major. And I get to live a very, very fun life. I'm very blessed.
And we're going to find out more about this fun life that you live also. How long have you been in Texas?
22 years.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you consider yourself a Texan yet after 22
Are you trying to do
years?
the math of how old I am?
No.
I'll tell you.
Age is something I never ask a lady. No. You just simply was saying, are you feeling like a Texan yet, you know?
There's a lot more in common, you know, with the Middle East, Palestine, and Texas than most people think. So, yes.
Well, good.
Yes.
Let's now talk about the salon that you have. You have a specific kind of unique salon. Tell us about this.
It's a henna studio. It's actually the first in the country to just be dedicated entirely to the art of henna. Like I said, I have an art and a business degree, so I kind of came across henna after I graduated college. And I always tell people, you know, figure out your why. And I mean, I'm Muslim, so God takes care of the how, but whatever it is, right? Just intention is really important in life, and my intention was always to be able to share my culture and the things that I grew up with that I truly loved in a different way, and add to the tapestry of the Middle East, right? Especially in America and in Texas, which I didn't really see a lot of. And when henna came into my life, I just saw it as such a beautiful way to give back to my community and share something that I really, really love. And the fastest way I feel like you can really make a difference in people's lives is through art. You know what I mean? The laws can change, politics can do whatever it wants to do, but the art is really what touches people's hearts. So that's the Henna Studio. It's a cultural hub for the community. I've been doing it since 2016. I had my grand opening in June of 2022. And actually 2023. I've been doing it for a while. Yes. So I had my grand opening, and it really was my love letter to Palestine. So anytime, you know, when you come in, you're going to be treated with some coffee, some sweets, you know, Arab hospitality to the fullest. And there's Palestinian artwork all over the walls, some Arabic music playing. And the whole concept of it was really a cultural hub for the community. So if you've never been to Palestine, when you walk in, you get a little bit of a taste of it. But if you are Palestinian or from the Middle East, you get to walk in and get a little bit of taste of home. I've had somebody tell me that this reminds them of their grandma's house, and honestly, is there a better compliment? Like, it's such a safe place to be, right? And I'm a comedian. I've been doing that since 2018, so I really wanted to share that part of my life with people, because henna and comedy actually have a lot of storytelling commonalities between them. So when you get henna, you're always just chit-chatting with people and cracking jokes, and I do the same thing on stage.
All right, so I know you're a comedian, I know that you do comedy, and we're going to get more into that, but I want to touch more on just it's called the House of Henna, right?
Yeah, so that was the concept. Studio. Yeah, for the grand opening, I literally had henna throughout the day and comedy shows in the evening. So that was that was the entire concept of the space. So that's something that we do, yeah.
Why is it important for you to have this cultural hub, this safe space there?
To be honest with you, I'm a hard worker, right? I'm very ambitious. Some people would say maybe too ambitious, but I'm also Palestinian and I'm Arab. I don't want to leave my house. I was like, if I call it the House of Henna, maybe it'll motivate me to get out of bed and go there. Like, it is more decorated than my actual home is. And I feel like in my culture, the home is everything. That's where the family is. You have weddings at the house. You know, people give birth. You do so much, and generally across the globe, right, in a home. And I really wanted people to feel comfortable and safe. And especially as a henna artist, a lot of times you're going to people's homes to do henna, or you know, it's a job. I mean, there are men that do henna, but it's predominantly a female-owned industry. So it is something that people can go to a woman's house to get henna done. So it seemed like such a natural fit. And it has nothing to do with me. I want you to feel like, you know, your home. It's not really, like, it's not like Marena's henna. It's the House of Henna. Yeah.
Now, I also want to ask you about, for people that may not understand what henna is, I mean, I think pretty much everybody does, or you see it at festivals or something, but tell us, what is henna and henna art?
Henna refers to three things: the product, the plant, and the henna experience. And I really aim to give people all three of these things at one time. So using really natural products, I mix my own henna paste, and using obviously the henna plant, you can make henna designs. And the henna experience is really, like I said, it's all about community and getting together. Most people get, in traditional cultures, henna through religious holidays or weddings. Mm-hmm. Those are the two times, you know, when you're really celebrating something. So when people come to me to get henna, in America especially, a lot of my clients are American, so they get it done at transitional moments in their lives or when they're celebrating something. Mm. So I do scar cover-ups for people who have scars. I deal with alopecia patients, cancer patients, and people, you know, for their birthdays, weddings, corporate parties. But the main thing is that when people come to me, they're looking for a place to just kind of get away and do something just for themselves. And it's the temporary body art. I have some on my hand right now.
Yeah, I see that.
Yes, I did it on myself. So right now it's like day one. It keeps getting darker. It lasts about 2 weeks, but it's temporary body art that people can just enjoy, and it makes them feel nice and pretty, and that's it.
I was going to say, because people see it, and it's
a blessing,
it's
actually.
Intriguing, and if you see it, is there meaning behind it? Does the design have a meaning, or, you know, when you get it, does it have a meaning? I know you said it's at traditional celebrations, but is there some type of deeper meanings behind it?
The short story is the designs themselves, I mean, are just a reflection of the culture that they're in. Henna originated in the Middle East and Africa, and it spread with Islam to the rest of the world. So it's really cool to see how henna is like a gateway to each culture. So Moroccan henna looks nothing like Indian henna. There's Eastern European henna, there's Gulf henna, there's Arabic henna, and it's a reflection of the culture. But it is a blessing. You know, that's one thing across the board. When you get henna, it's like a symbol of good luck.
Okay.
Yes.
And I often see it hand. Is it hand to the traditional place for it, and can you do it elsewhere? Do you get asked to do elsewhere?
For me, the way that I use henna, like I said, I deal with a lot of head to toe. I do different body parts. You know, if you get like tummy tuck, scar cover up, like I said, cancer patients, whatever it is, right? Or if you want to get a tattoo, you test it out in advance and you come to me. People can get it done many different places, but traditionally it's the hands and feet. Like I said, weddings and stuff, and it stains darkest on the hands and feet as well.
Okay,
so that's one of the reasons. Yes.
So as we started talking about, you are a comedian, and the House of Henna became more than just a house for henna.
Yes.
What did it become?
I mean, it still is the House of Henna. You go by, even like when you're there for a comedy show, you're looking around, and people are like, why does it say the House of Henna on the wall? Like, they're so confused, right? It became a space where we are able to host different events for the community. So, I mean, I've done different kinds of events, but one of the regular ones is a comedy show. We have it the last Saturday of every month. And it's really fun. We transform the place, we move the furniture around, but I wanted to keep the integrity of the place. I didn't want you to walk in and be like, this looks nothing like the daytime. I wanted it to be like, you literally, when you walk into someone's house and they have a wedding there or a birthday party, they just move things around, boom, boom, here's some food, here's a show, enjoy yourself.
Well, what is this comedy show called?
It's actually called Kufiya Comedy.
And explain the title and that name.
Kufiya is actually what I'm wearing right now. It comes in many different colors, but the traditional one is black and white. The designs on it are actually a representation of the different parts of the Palestinian land and the Palestinian experience. So the fishnet is for the fishing culture. Then there's the long roads. That's what this is, and this is the olive leaves. So it has a lot of meaning behind it. It was traditionally worn by the older generation, the farmers. I have like a farmer Palestinian dialect, so it's so that's what it was worn as. And due to the occupation in 1948, it started being worn as a symbol of resistance and Palestinian freedom. So especially with what's going on now, if you see anybody wearing it, that's really what it means, is that they believe in the Palestinian rights to resist and just for their right to exist. So yes.
Why did you choose that as the name?
Because, first of all, the show is called Kufiya Comedy, so the comedy part, we all know what it is. But Kufiya, for me, when you're fighting for something that's, and for life and existence, it's the struggle for the Palestinian freedom is not something that is solely Palestinian. It's a representation of all of our right to exist and all, justice for everybody as a whole. And for me, that it takes a community to do that. And for people that stand behind that, I wanted them, first of all, anybody to see the word Kufiya comedy, instantly bat signal. They know that they're safe here. This is for you. Come on over, right? And it works like a charm. They don't even, the Arabs don't really go to comedy shows. So for me, I really wanted a space that specifically targets Arabs and anybody that's interested in listening to real comedy. People talk about real things. I'm the only Arab in Dallas that does comedy. So it's not like I can get up there and have a show with just myself, but each comedian that goes on stage has something worth saying. And it's not necessarily political, but it is them speaking their truth. And I wanted them to know that that is, I feel like, an all-encompassing kind of thing. You know what I mean? Having the courage to get up there and be yourself. And Kufiya just represents community for me. So that's what it is, yes.
And over the time of this, how do you feel about it? How is it going for you? And what do you think? Is it achieving what you would like it to be?
And more.
And more.
And more. Oh my God. We try to keep, you know, the numbers of how many people come to the show, who comes to the show. We actually had the Dallas Morning News run an article about us. They came in, watched the show, you know, went to the after party. We have a pizza after party because you can never go to an Arab, even Indian, whatever it is, event hungry. You can't leave hungry. You're going to be fed. Whether you're hungry or not, that's going to happen. So that's something we wanted to incorporate with the show, honestly, is you come to the show afterwards, pizza, relax, mingle, be a part of the community. And they came, and one of the things that they kept talking about was how diverse the show is. I mean, we have 33% of them Arab at this point.
Keep going.
Yes, we have 33% of our audiences are Arab, but we also have around like 15 or so % of African American. We have Hispanic, white, East Asian, Southeast Asian. You walk into this room of like 40, 45 people, and you're like, this is literally the most diverse room in Dallas. You know what I mean? And people, I've had people on the verge of tears. I've had people, you know, drove in from LA just for this show.
Really?
Yes, because it really means a lot to them to go to a place that gives them a taste of their own culture, right? So yeah, it means a lot.
You just mentioned about the diversity of the room, and I get the sense that diversity and celebrating diversity is very important to you. And is that one of the reasons you're a co-founder of a festival that you'd like to tell us about?
I think...
I'm not co-founder, you are the founder of the festival.
I am the founder of the festival. It's okay. It's okay.
Diversity is important to you, right?
Diversity is such an overused word, and I just use it to describe the room that when you walk in, that's what the first thought that comes into your mind. But this is a comedian thing. I do it because comedy only works if the room is diverse. If you do comedy in front of a group of people when it's just one kind of people, they tighten up. If you say one thing and all of them look around and they see themselves all over in the same room, right? And they're like, oh, they're not laughing, that means I can't laugh. It's really weird, right? But if you have a room with a very diverse audience, the people that find it funny will make the people that are like scared to laugh also laugh. The best comedy shows are the most diverse. That is my experience. I've been doing comedy for a while. I've literally done comedy in Palestine, overseas. I've done it all across this country. Those are the best rooms. So for me, on purpose, I wanted to attract audiences that will make the other ones laugh and teach them what comedy is. Because not everybody knows how to be an audience member.
Exactly.
Some people are afraid. They don't understand that, you know, you can be sarcastic. We're going to be touching on subjects that are going to make you a little bit uncomfortable. But you learn how to loosen up. And laughter is so good for the soul. So when it comes to the festival, I've been very blessed in this country because I told you I'm the only Arab comedian. So I was kind of taken in by the Desi community. And those are India, Pakistan, you know, Bangladesh, like Afghanistan, like that's what Desi means. That's like the region. So I performed a lot for the Desi crowd. I have a big following in the Indian and Pakistani community, which is completely unexpected by everyone. And I love the culture. And, you know, technically, I am Asian. I don't get any credit for that. But Palestine is in the cusp end of Asia. But over here, you know, they have Asian shows as well. Like, they're like, well, you're not Asian. Why are you on this show, right? But I wanted to kind of showcase those different cultures. And my co-producer for the show is half Thai. So the festival itself is 3 days, May 10th, 11th, and 12th. The dates were chosen because May 11th is World Kufiya Day. I had no choice. And it runs on a Saturday. So May 10th is Desi. May 11th is MENA, Middle East, North Africa. And the last day is Southeast Asia. So each day we wanted to give a culturally immersive experience. because I feel like the best way to experience the culture is literally using as many senses as possible. So listening, tasting, you know, watching, that kind of thing. So each day is going to have comedy, music, a selection of curated short films, vendors that have, you know, reflective of the culture, and each day completely different from the next. So we've flown out comedians from across the country. We have international comedians coming in. We have international films. Everything is selected specifically for each day to give you guys like a little treat. Yes.
Where did the idea for this festival come from, and why did you want to do this?
10 years ago, believe it or not, I wanted to host a festival. And it's because I don't know where it came from. I love, that's my like love language, I guess, is gift giving and giving experiences and making people happy. I've always loved doing that. And I've always, like I said, wanted to do something that showcases my culture. So 10 years ago, I wanted to host a festival that has like all these different elements, and life just kind of in roundabout way ended up in a place where I was thinking about hosting something for May 11th, and after the incidents, you know, with the current genocide that's happening in Gaza, there are many different ways to represent and use your talents. And I was like, what can I do to shed light on this? Because art itself is powerful. Representation is powerful. Speaking truth out there, right, is very powerful. And I'm an artist, and that was always my weapon of choice. And I know, generally speaking, I've always wanted to create a safe space for artists to come in and do what they want to do and express themselves freely. And the festival kind of took on this thing where I was like, let's just make it a 3-day thing. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to also highlight my co-producer as well. He's half Thai. And I was like, we can't put you on the Middle East Day. That makes no sense. And nobody can laugh all day. So if we wanted to highlight comedians from all these different backgrounds, and also Texas comedians, then we need to give them this space to do so. So that's where the 3 days kind of came in. And that's why it's called Kufiya Comedy. Yeah.
And where will the festival be held?
We're actually in partnership with the Apprentice Creative, I believe, space. It's a nonprofit for writers and artists. They just had their opening in April, but it's going to be in the Oak Cliff Assembly Center. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I want to ask you this question to kind of get us wrapped up on this. It's going to be kind of threefold for you.
Yes.
You can take it how you like. What do you want people to take away from experience with having Henna, with experiencing the comedy, and when they leave the festival? What do you want in each one of those segments? What do you want somebody to walk away with after they experience it?
I want them to open up. I want their heart to be a little bit bigger, and so open up their mind as well. Because I'm actually one of very few Arab henna artists. The majority of them are Indian. Most people associate henna with India. So giving that alone, like the fact that I'm Palestinian and doing henna is also a wild idea in that world, by the way. It's just, I guess, giving people a different perspective and getting them to see something in a different way. You know, I want them to experience the Indian and Pakistani culture in a different way that they haven't done before, right? Here, the artists, and the same thing for the East Asian community and the MENA community. The one thing that we're doing really cool about the festival is split into 2 parts. So the daytime is 11 to 5, and that's where you get to experience the short films and more of the traditional acts and music. And then evenings we're having the comedy and the after party, which like more younger, more fresh musical acts coming in. So you get to see the transition of the culture as well throughout the day, and vendors all throughout. So I feel like that really gives them a different perspective of those things. Yes.
People want to find out more about all of this. Obviously, website or something, how do they go about it? You can give website, handles, socials, whatever you would like to give.
Kufiya Comedy TX is a great way to do it. You'll find a lot of the stuff on there. Kufiya. Kufiya Comedy on Instagram. Those are the 2 best ways to do it.
All right.
Yes, and I'm Marena Riyad. So.
All right. As you said, you gave us that. Go ahead and give a shout out to your co-producer for the show. You can mention his name.
Alex Hansen is
right.
my co-producer. He's incredible. He's an actor. He's a producer as well. He produces theatrical productions. He's absolutely brilliant.
Yes, and he's the one that reached out and got us in touch with you, so he was the
Yes,
reason you're here with us today.
he does all the fun stuff when we're doing all that, yes.
All right, great
But yeah,
times.
also the Henna Studios, the House of Henna. If you look it up on Google, you'll find both of them in the same place. You can leave a review for both if you'd like. So yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
We appreciate
you so
having
much.
you. You are welcome. I want to thank you for joining us for this episode of Community Conversations. I'm Vince Sims. We'll see you next time.